All right, listen, if you're a trainer who would rather just avoid sales altogether and post your prices online, I need you to know one thing. That mindset right there could be the biggest reason that your business isn't growing the way that you want it to be. And I'll explain myself. But first, I want you to think about this. You spend all your time working on your craft, getting better at what you do, developing your skills, building your reputation, right? But when it comes to actually showing people the value of what you offer, you take a step back. Think about that. You're leaving it all to your website, expecting that somehow your website is going to sell your services, it's going to build that relationship, it's going to earn their trust. But here's the truth. Your website is never going to be able to convey your passion, your expertise, your real value as effectively as you can. Showing up for them live, that is what matters most. You have to recognize this. And here's the problem with avoiding sales. And this is a conversation I have all the time with trainers, all over the place. They're passionate about training dogs. They're confident in their abilities. You get that, right? But they'd rather have their prices and services do the talking online. Doesn't make sense. Many trainers that I talk to, they want to work behind the scenes, hoping that their reputation and that their work itself will attract new clients. But here's the thing. The work only speaks once they're your client. Before that, it's up to you to communicate your value. You can't sidestep that reality. The result? Potential clients see a generic price list and nothing else. And if they don't feel the value or the urgency, what do? They move on. Selling is about being there to answer questions, to show empathy for their concerns, to paint a picture of the solution that you're offering. Your website can't do that. Your website can't smile. It can't relate to their stories. It can't explain why you're the one to solve their unique challenges. Only you can do that. You have to own that responsibility. You have to learn how to shift your perspective because sales isn't selfish. And this is a critical mindset shift that you have to make. What if sales wasn't about pushing yourself on other people? What if it was about showing up to help? I mean, think about a time where you had a breakthrough with a dog that you were training, right? You likely built trust with that animal, used clear communication to show the dog what you wanted, and you got the result that you were after. Sales works the same way, except your client is the one you're helping to find that clarity. When you shift your focus from selling to serving, everything changes. And you'll realize that this part of the process is just as important as the actual training itself, because it's the bridge between somebody's problems and the solution that you offer. You have to embrace that process. Sales isn't about price, it's about impact. And here's what I mean. Imagine your favorite mentor, your favorite leader, somebody you look up to and trust, somebody you believe in. Why do you feel that way? It's probably because they communicated openly with you. They shared their experiences. They helped you see a new way forward. And that's exactly what sales can be in your business. Your prices should not be the first thing that clients know about you. Your results should be. Think about that. When you build rapport and you show people how you can help, they stop caring about the dollar amount. They start caring about the value of their investment. They see you as somebody with answers, not just somebody with a price list. Do you see the difference there? And when that happens, you're no longer competing with the cheapest option. You become the obvious choice because you've taken the time to connect. You've taken the time to help them bridge that gap of knowledge. And if any of this resonates with you, and you're starting to see that sales might be the missing link in your growth, I want to help you bridge that gap. We're offering free coaching calls this month, where we'll work on how to communicate your value authentically. No pushy sales tactics, no scripts, just a conversation that helps you and your potential clients see why you're the solution that they've been looking for. So send us a DM. Let's talk about how we can get you comfortable and confident in this skill that can transform your business. Now, look, when I talk about your website versus your voice and which builds trust faster, there is no comparison. So let's get to specifics on this. Most trainers who post their rates on their website, they think they're doing their clients a favor by keeping things simple, with online pricing. But in reality, they're robbing themselves and their clients of a powerful connection. Think about that. People don't buy from websites, they buy from people who they trust. And if your potential clients only see numbers and bullet points, they're missing out on the human element that sets you apart from everybody else who is driving them to their website to make a decision. And here's another truth. If you're relying on price posts to win clients, You're setting yourself up to be ignored and to be compared, price shopped. Price should never be the first thing someone knows about you. When it's all about price, you're in a race to the bottom. You're competing with the cheapest options. Instead, the first thing that people should understand is the impact that you can make in their life. Your prices aren't what define you. Your results are, or at least they should be. And when you learn how to have that real conversation, people stop caring about price and they start caring about the value of their investment. And that's when you're no longer just a dog trainer, you're the solution to their problem. That's how you need to see yourself. When you're on call, when you're talking to somebody, you're on a call with someone, you can answer questions. You can clarify doubts. You can address concerns right then and there. Your voice, your tone, and your ability to listen can't be replicated by a website. And if you're worried about training times, behavioral issues, or even costs, you're right there. You can show them the bigger picture and why it's irrelevant. A website can't do that. Only a conversation can. A website is a one-way street with limited room to inspire action. You have to understand that selling is helping. And it works like this. Sales isn't a favor to yourself. It's a service to your potential client. Imagine you're sitting with somebody who's desperate for a change. Their dog is causing chaos in their life. They're stressed. They're feeling out of control. They need help. And here you are, equipped with the skills and the experience to change their world for the better. Sales then is just you guiding them to see the answer to their problem and that it's right there in front of them. But here's where most trainers get tripped up. They're afraid that sales is going to make them look pushy. They're worried about rejection. Or they think that, if they just let people find them naturally, they won't have to deal with the discomfort of a no. The reality though, that mindset means you're leaving countless people in the same position that they came to you to find the solution for. Selling isn't about being pushy. It's about showing them the solution that they didn't even realize was possible. Do you understand that? You have to embrace these ideas. You have to understand that selling is the first step of service. Here's what I mean. Imagine a client who is struggling with a dog that is, barking incessantly, or a dog that jumps up on every visitor. They're frustrated. Maybe even they're even embarrassed. They know they need help, but they don't know where to start. You are the solution. And sales is how you connect the dots for them. Selling in this context isn't being pushy, it's serving. It's providing a clear path to their current struggle and a way out to find relief and to find results. When you guide somebody through the sales process, you're easing their fears, you're answering their questions, and ultimately you're helping them reach a point where they believe in the outcome as much as you do. Your website can't convey that type of information. It isn't selfish to sell. It's the first step in solving their problem. And by opting out of the sales process, you're opting out of that opportunity to show up for them before they're even a client. Think of the value that delivers for them. Think about a time when somebody changed your perspective on something. Not by being pushy, but by sharing. Maybe it was a friend or a mentor or even another trainer who showed you something in a way that just clicked. That's what you're doing for your potential clients when you engage with them in the sales process. You're providing clarity. You're helping them understand not just what they're buying, but the life that they're investing in. And let me tell you how I shifted my own perspective about this, about the purpose and the power of mastering sales. And I'll be honest, in my own journey, I didn't always feel comfortable with sales. I'll admit, I once saw it as a necessary evil. But as I dug deeper, I realized it was because I didn't understand it. I was afraid of rejection. I was afraid of sounding salesy and making people feel uncomfortable. I didn't want to do that. But as I worked with mentors and I started to see the true purpose of sales, that's when everything changed. I had a different perspective. Now I see it as one of the most valuable skills in my toolkit. And once I started having real conversations with potential clients, I realized something else. People don't resent being sold to when it's done with integrity. They actually appreciate that I'm taking the time to talk with them and be real and to answer their questions directly. And more than that, they're grateful that somebody took the time to care enough to guide them toward the solution that they didn't even know was right in front of them. How powerful is that? And the trainers who are building legacies in this industry, they're not the ones with the fanciest website, the most polished websites. or the lowest rates. They're the ones who connect, who communicate, and who understand that selling is just the start of service. If you want to make an impact, don't hide behind your website. Show up, engage, take ownership over your role in helping people see what's possible. That's your duty and obligation if you're serious about this. So the question is, are you willing to step up, get outside of your comfort zone for just a few minutes to give someone else a lifetime of better days with their dog? Are you willing to build that bridge of trust to have a real conversation that goes beyond price and bullet points? Because the trainers who are building legacies in this business aren't the ones with the fancy website. They're not the ones with the discounts and the lowest prices. They're the ones who are showing up. They're the ones who are taking the time. And they're the ones who see sales as a way to serve. And if you're ready to take this step, book that call. Let's talk about how you can use this approach to stop blending in and start standing out. And remember this, greatness is your obligation. Success won't ever happen without your participation. This life isn't a warm-up, it's the only one you got. So take action this instant because today might be your only shot.